Good morning, good morning, good morning, fellow humans. Today is Monday, the 28th of October. A few days left, and then it is, what happened here? A few days left. Oops. Oop. A few days in the month left, and it's on to November. Next Tuesday is election day. More about that later, because it's going to be a big one. The question is there going to be cheating? Is there going to be cheating? But anyway, so here we are, Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help our students and interested people on their journey through this life. Wherein this life is a journey to a destination. The destination is where we go next. And where we end up, our destination is a function. Okay, good. Glad you're back, Matt. How are things? Any problem getting in? Are you in the place? Glad that you're back in Pahrump. If you're going to be awake, we can have breakfast this morning, early, like at 8 o'clock. No, I'm Subway. Okay. Well, have to figure that out. Let's process on that. But anyway, good morning. Glad you're back. How does it feel to be back in Pahrump? Pahrump, east of Death Valley, west, sandwiched between Death Valley to the west and Sin City to the east. Here we are, Hardscrabbleville, Hardscrabble people. Not really a generous people. When you have the city come out and a lot of pitchfork people, we don't want a homeless shelter. We don't want a homeless shelter. No homeless shelter. Versus all great cities take pride in saying, here's how we take care of the most needy. Here's what we have for them. We want no church. We want no church. No, it's the opposite. Okay, but anyway, time is racing. We've got a lot to talk about today. Our meme of today is the winner effect. Aha, the winner effect. Maybe Hardscrabbleville, Pahrump, or Pahrump can talk about that. Diana, this is going in the mail today to you. That is your book. That is your copy of the book. Okay. Anyway, here we are. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. Okay, well, thank you for the compliment, Matt, regarding yesterday's video. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he who sheds his blood with me this day shall be my brother. Be he never so vile, blah, blah, etc., etc. Time is racing. I'll use that excuse. Time is racing. All right, so the winner effect. Bracket on Warren Buffett. All righty then. Next, what else is going on? Before we get to that, advice from an 80-year-old. Beware of the person who has nothing to lose. Beware of the person who has nothing to lose. Why? Because they have nothing to lose. They'll take you down with them. It's like a drowning person. What does a drowning person have to lose? Nothing. They're drowning. They're going to do anything to try to not drown. Right. Oops. Right, you are righto. There we go. We've got to get these cords out of the way. Get our espresso. Italian espresso. Let it cool for a second. Okay. Seth Godin. What does Seth have to tell us today before we talk about our meme of the winner effect? Seth Godin, promises and our best. Here's a good one. It's short. There was a significant difference between I promise and I'll do my best. Promises are difficult to keep and ought to be offered with that in mind. Doing our best is assumed. Right. Always do your best. Only promise that which you can reasonably expect to keep. Set proper expectations. Proper expectations. I remember one time Mark Devine, Navy SEAL, after talking about a project for him and his guys to do, said, okay, so what you want us to do is turn this pig freighter into an F-16 or an F-14 while in flight, right? I was like, well, the first time I was like, well, yeah, I guess if you put it that way. And his answer was, just checking. Just wanted to create proper expectations. Meaning you and I both know this is something that's as easy to do as turning turning a pig freighter into an F-16. Yeah, I think that's what it was, while in flight. He didn't say, why us, man? That's impossible. Just said, okay, just checking, just so we both know what you're asking us to do. Mm-hmm. So, setting proper expectations, that's the key. Next on the hit parade, today's TED Talk, Nancy Kane. This is week four, day one of week 4 in our neuroscience thing. So this is the week we wrap everything up. It's been building up to week 4. So we talked about life is a journey. Think of it like a ship that you're going to be on this journey with. You're building this ship. And of course, it's a sailboat because you can't depend upon external fuel and things like that, complex engines, something that we can learn to do. So life is a journey. You got to build your own ship, and you got to do all the things you need to do for this journey. So you got to figure out how big is the ship. You want the ship as big as you can have it, because that means you can go further for longer and gather more adventures and more booty, more things, more accomplishments, more treasure. So the first week is, what is the journey? Orientation and overview. What is this journey? What's the high level? And for us, it's being able to answer 2 questions. Who am I, and why do I behave the way I do? Because if you understand how, you can dial in who you need to be. Week 2, boom, inside my skull-sized kingdom. This is now you're building the boat. Well, inside my skull-sized kingdom, we learn about neuroscience. We learn about neurons and neurotransmitters and the reticular activating system, those 3 parts, and how they work to help us create better habits and to program our RAS. So we see our future and then we automatically pursue it. That's week 2. Week 3 is outside my skull-sized kingdom. So when I look outside my skull-sized kingdom, where I think everything revolves around me, inside everything, the world revolves around me. Outside, I see, hey, there's people out there and they think the world revolves around them. So how do I deal with these people? Because actually I need their help. I need a crew. I need people to help me on my journey. I cannot sail this boat to my destination alone. And the better I am at getting the best, biggest crew, the crew that's optimum for my boat, the better I am at that, the better my journey, the more adventures, the more successful, and I will get to my destination when I need to be there. Not too early, not too late, just the Goldilocks conditions. And then week 4 is now called leadership, but it's about making sure you don't sink the boat, crash the boat, get mutinied, go change direction improperly, etc. It's now you've got all of the things. You have your boat, you have your plan, you have your crew. Shove off, start the thing, and don't screw the pooch. The old pooch screw. I got that from Camp Canine, I think. Perhaps not. But so now I am, the game is afoot, and I've got to keep my crew moving in the direction I want. I can't have a mutiny. I can't crash the boat. Can't do all of those things. Right. And so I ask myself, when I have a decision, I ask myself, what would an idiot do? And then I do the opposite. So today is Nancy Kane, a faithful supporter of what we do, especially the women in our program, Harvard Business School professor. We have her video on crisis leadership. We have that video. And today we watch that. And so that is to prepare us for when there is a crisis. Not smooth sailing. Everything has gone wrong. The examples that she uses are President Lincoln during the Civil War, the crisis, how he managed, how he navigated through that, and Ernest Shackleton in his ill-fated exploration, crossing the Antarctica, crossing Antarctica on foot. The mistakes he made, but how he saved everyone. So today is crisis leadership. Tomorrow is pure leadership. So we go on the spectrum of leadership. Crisis, everything is bad. How do I keep moving forward? Great talk from a Harvard Business School professor who went, I believe, to undergraduate. Next, and then the other extreme is pure leadership. Everything is going right. It's perfect. So what do? And that we talk about Marcus Aurelius, and we talk a little bit about Stoicism, and then the rest of the week is in between. It's not crisis, it's not that, it's pragmatic leadership, and we really focus on Ignatius of Loyola. Somebody, a man after our own heart, somebody we can all learn from, who had it good, lost everything, went crazy, kept going, threats from incarceration or incineration at the stake, burning at the stake during the Inquisition, kept clawing his way forward, followed the plan on week number 3, the 4-step, David Logan, Seth Godin, Simon Sinek, and Phillips and Derek Sivers followed that plan, got his first followers, got his people, built his thing, took off. Now it is the largest higher educational system in the world that has about almost 130 universities, colleges and universities across the world, and a guy who started no different than us, which teaches us, shows us, if he could do all that, we can do something. Okay, let's see. All right, thank you. Dangerous. They are dangerous because they have, okay, I remember when you said that in class in prison. Aha! A good leader knows how to lead through crisis, pure and practical. Correct. Ernest Shackleton is your leader, or Ignatius of Loyola is your leader. Okay, anyway, that's where we are. Now we can finally get to the meme and I can have a sip of my coffee. That wasn't a grimace, that was a Okay. The meme of today is the winner effect. What did Warren Buffett say? The 4 people we hang out with the most have the biggest impact on us. So for most of us, it's like this. Right? Better to be an intern and hang around people who are successful and learn, rather than sit out there smoking cigarettes, chopping it up with the other people who don't have a better plan. Today, I would say better to find a church, like a Catholic church, where you can go in and say a rosary, go in and pray. have a little chat with Jesus, but actually better than that, go in and do an imaginative prayer. Do imaginative prayer. If you don't know what that is, Google search or go on Perplexity or Ask Claude or Chat GPT. Imaginative prayer. Pick something from the Bible, New Testament, Mark, I think the story of the leper in chapter 1, I think it's 145 or something. Not really sure, but the leper who asked to be cleansed. So do an imaginative prayer on that. Just think your way through that. But the people we know it the most. So it's called the winner effect. And it's actually a real thing. It's not a made-up thing. It's a real thing. If you are around people, if you practice winning, if you practice doing things where you win, your brain gets used to doing that, right? Because what does our brain do? It solves problems. So if you teach it how to solve problems, if you get it predisposed to solve problems, it will. Here's an interesting thing about people. People, unfortunately, who grow up in really hard scrabble environments where nothing is certain, housing isn't certain, food isn't certain, everything is uncertain, your dad's job, if he's there, mom, whatever, all of that, you grow up with this view of life is going to crush you. It's just a matter of time. There's no path forward. It's just a matter of time before the rug gets pulled out. That's the normal. Whereas people who grow up in households where you don't have those problems, where any problem that comes up is solved, have this view of life that every problem can be solved. You just have to solve it. You just have to do what you have to do to solve the problem. But every problem can be solved. No problem can't be solved. Just got to break it down into its pieces and parts. You got to be a little bit stoic. In other words, get the things you can control and you can't control. Just work your way through it. Every problem can be solved. Okay, time is racing. We're at 17:31. It's 6:19 in the morning. I don't know how that's possible. Well, it's actually 6:17. Got to get this thing posted. Glad you're there. Matt, send me a text regarding if you want to have breakfast. If you want to go have breakfast, like at 9, 8:30, send me a text if you want to have breakfast. Otherwise, you can go over there anytime after the sun comes up. The guys know that you're going to be there. You're going to be in the first room on the left with Jonah. Tristan is in the middle room. Tristan, you might know, works at Carmelo's. And then Sean is a really good guy. Sean is a good guy. And then I will see you. Maybe you can go, you want to go on a road trip. We're going to Goldfield today. You maybe can see Charlene. But maybe you'll be too tired. And that's okay. So we'll talk about it. And with that, I'm going to say, and cut. Wada Bevy is at work. Cut.